Hey guys, I'm back with another video. I thought it was appropriate to talk about the state of Defias Pillager right now, just what's going on with it, and more importantly, is it ever going to make a comeback? If you guys have any thoughts or opinions, let me know in the comments. Again, this is a video just off the script, purely commentary, just me talking about Defias Pillager, and if I think it ever will make a comeback. So I did move my camera above here just so you guys can take a look at chat. I have been a part of a lot of dead servers over the years in Classic, especially whether it's private servers, Chronos, Lights Hope, or Nostalaris. I've been on dead Classic era realms. I'm okay with playing on dead realms, but this realm is beyond dead. And obviously, release of the fresh server, but I've never have seen a realm this dead. And I wanted to pull up the auction house just so you guys can kind of see where I'm coming from. So looking at mail items here, we literally only have one page of items pretty much per for the whole auction house. Let's go to some of these end game consumables and you guys will get a better idea of what I'm talking about. Not even a full page of Mongoose available. Let's check Elixir of Giants, which I'm assuming is probably a little bit better, barely. And that includes the recipe formula. Not even a whole page of Giants. Let's check Flasks. Not even a full page of Flask of Titans. And also check the prices on these. 70 gold for a flask. Impossible for a raider to, just a regular raider to afford these consumables without their guild providing them for them. Let's check Supreme Power. Supreme Power, a little bit of the same. And more importantly, what everybody talks about, let's check Flask of Petrification. There's literally 2 available at 67 gold. So the guilds that are remaining on this server, I think there's only about 3 of them, maybe 4 of them that still raid. They officially have a monopoly on everything endgame. So a person trying to come back to this server that is not on one of those guilds, or if you're trying to independently buy your consumables, not going to happen. So as you guys have been paying attention here on LFG chat is dead, and I would think it'd be a little bit bigger because it is holiday weekend, so I can only imagine during the week it's a lot worse. Again, I know there is still 3 to 4 guilds here still raiding, but they pretty much have a monopoly on anything endgame wise when it comes to consumables. So if you plan on coming back to this game without a guild, or if you plan on just raid logging like I've been trying to look into, it's not going to happen. I won't be able to afford these consumables. And not only that, what am I going to farm that's going to allow the low levels to buy? And there's just no market for that right now because nobody's really leveling on this server. So obviously, from a perspective of the state of the server right now, it's not good. Before the release, we were at 6 layers. It is officially down to 1. And this was easily the most popular realm over Skull Rock. So I can only imagine that Skull Rock is probably doing the same or worse as far as server health. And this isn't me just, ratting or bringing down Defias Pillager. I still think there's a good amount of people that play on the server for their own reasons. I still would like to play on the server. I still would like to stream my level 60 raids on hardcore. But as of right now, the current state of it is probably the worst I've ever seen a realm. And again, I've been on some realms that were dead as far as Chronos, Nostalaris, Lights Hope, especially Lights Hope. When they released that 2019 classic was coming out, I was playing on Lights Hope at the time, and that was pretty bad because everybody quit just waiting for 2019 classic. But I promise you this is worse. This is worse as far as the server health. Now, the question that everybody is kind of wondering is, and a lot of people in my stream have been asking too, is like, should I come back and level my high level tunes? Should I come back and raid log? Should I come back and play? My answer is yes. If you have any spare time away from Doomhow, away from the fresh servers, I suggest you come and finish your tunes. Now, why I say this is because Defias Pillager will make a comeback at some point, and there's a couple reasons why. Obviously, number one, server hype on Doomhow is huge right now. There's over 10 layers. I think a lot of people are enjoying playing Horde. I think Defias Pillager was kind of forcing people to play Alliance. Now people get to essentially try Horde. And there's actually quite a lot of people out there that have not played Horde for the first time. But digging into more of that situation, we talk about this a lot on my stream as far as raiding in general. There's a lot of guilds on Classic WoW, or I'm sorry, on Doomhow Hardcore right now. How many of those guilds do you actually think will have 40 raiders? to make it into Molten Core, let alone no world buffs, no, a lot of things that people were getting easy handouts on Defias Pillager are no longer available to these raiders on Molten Core. I do think there's going to be a good amount of guilds that make it to Molten Core. I don't think there's going to be a lot of guilds that make it out of Molten Core. Not that Molten Core is hard, but I think people are going to quickly run into the situation of there's too many guilds trying to raid. There's a lot of guilds out there that only have like 25 members ready to raid. They don't have enough spots, or they leave to go find other spots. These other guilds don't have spots, and they're quickly going to run into a dead end. And then they have no choice but to either go back to Defias Pillager or wait for a raid spot that might not come. Now, again, building that into more, the phase timers. Blizzard has already came out and said that, you know, they're a little worried about these phase timers. Like maybe they need to speed them up. I think people have gotten so spoiled of the content being available right away, whether it's on the fresh hardcore servers or the classic era servers, that people have kind of forgot how to wait for other phases, how to prep for those other phases. And I think people aren't going to want to wait for that, especially in a hardcore setting. In a classic era setting, non-hardcore maybe a little different because people could PvP on the side, people can do this. But as far as people sitting down and actually waiting 3, 4, 5 weeks for another phase, they're not going to do that. The attention span of gamers nowadays was so much accessible to them, especially from only just a Blizzard perspective of having so many different versions of the game that they can play at a certain time whenever they want. I don't think people are actually going to sit around and wait for 5 weeks for these phases. It's going to become into a raid log situation, or people are going to miss the situation of, oh, we can progress whenever we want. Let's just go back to Defias Pillager. I do think that the fresh hardcore server is going to run into multiple problems here coming up soon, as far as people not wanting to wait for phase timers, as far as people not having raiding spots, or people are just there to literally level with the Only Fangs hype and just not even plan on raiding. I do think that Defias Pillager will make a comeback. I do think it will. I think it will. I think it's going to take some time, though. It's going to take some time. I know that my guild that I was in is already broken up, saying like we don't have raiders. People are playing fresh. Give it a couple months, maybe even less than that, and I promise you Defias Pillager will make a comeback. People are not going to want to wait for these phase timers. And to kind of build on to what I was saying about too many guilds, not enough raid spots, or too many raid spots, not enough people. I think a lot of people are automatically assuming that, oh, well, our guild's not going to be able to fill a 40-man, so let's just wait for that 20-man, right? Well, the first 20-man raid comes out not until phase 3. I don't think your guild is going to survive waiting until phase 3 on hardcore when they're watching other people go into Molten Core now. So these guilds that are thinking that, oh yeah, let's just be a tight knit group that does 20 mans, that's not possible. That's not going to happen. So again, with all of this into effect of people waiting for phase timers, people not having raid spots or too many raid spots to fill, not enough people, I think it's going to not necessarily crash and burn the server, but I think people are expecting things that aren't really real on Doomhell. And I think people will come back to their 60s on Defias Pillager and be able to progress. And even, I think you might even see some new guilds form outside of the couple that are still hanging around. But right now, Defias Pillager, if you are a like independent level 60 trying to find your living here or find a situation here, it's pretty much impossible. There's no groups on LFG. There's nothing in the auction house. There's no market to sell to buy those consumables. The consumables are out of this mind expensive since the fresh server started. All the guilds have monopolies on pretty much anything end game on the server. I think right now Defias Pillager is unplayable. Give it a couple weeks, a month, 2 months, and I think you'll see people come flooding back. I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I will see you around.